Well, good evening and welcome to Orient Live. The O's are looking to continue where we left off on Saturday following from that 92nd minute winner from Charlie Kelman over Lincoln Town. And of course, we're flying and looking to keep that run going on just a little bit longer. And it's Wrexham tonight. Who are they? But it's maybe a big one from a neutral fan's perspective. If you're looking for Wrexham, there's a lot of hoo-ha around them. But in terms of Orient, we don't care who we're playing. We're in that kind of form and it's all about us tonight.
Yeah, you're right, Ollie. I think it's just, it's another game. And I think it's a good test. It's a nice one certainly for the fans and players to look forward to. Big, massive club in the division. Probably along with Birmingham, the biggest club, and a good kind of benchmark to see where we are. I think, when we played them at home earlier in the season, I thought we completely, played them off the park. Played some really good stuff that day. And we're by far the better team, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on tonight.
And let's just touch on Saturday before we move on though, Andrew, because it's very rare games like that come around for an Orient fan. But Richie's made a big point this season, like, we're not little Leyton Orient, but when you go from 2-0 up to 2-2, most Orient fans feel like they know the rest, but not this group.
Yeah, what it was quite an unfamiliar feeling actually, to concede, not just concede a goal, but to concede 2 goals and get paid back like that in that manner. So it was quite strange, and then to pull it out the bag was almost an even more unfamiliar feeling. But you're right, and Richie's been drilling this into the players and also as fans. The mentality is completely shifted, and I think Saturday was another great example of that in a season with lots and lots of high points. It was also right up there as well. So really pleased that we dug it out. Hopefully this evening will be a little bit tighter at the back, but yeah, it was a brilliant occasion.
It certainly is, and what a job Richie Wellington's doing of starting something special here in E10. But of course, he'll have tonight's match at the front of his mind. So let's hear now exactly what that is.
Gaffer, Wrexham to come on Tuesday night. We're entering a really important pack of games now. How much are we looking forward to it?
Can't wait to be in the position that we're in, and going into these games is a huge credit to the players. We'd much rather be in this position than having to fight for our lives playing against these clubs and these teams. But no, it's exciting. Looking forward to it. And a big game tomorrow.
Wrexham obviously get quite a lot of publicity in our division. But them as a team, where are they strongest?
Experience, a lot of games throughout the squad. Experienced players know how to manage themselves in certain moments of games. Powerful, and in the free midfield players, they've got athleticism, can get to the ball, can hunt the ball down. 2 wing backs that get a lot of assists, and obviously they've got, whether it be 4, 5, 6 strikers, they've got a lot of threat at the top end of the pitch as well.
They obviously came up last year as well, and they've really carried that momentum, haven't they?
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, the clubs that was in the league. The clubs that was in the league last year, and the teams coming down. I always think that they looked at Wrexham and thought they're a threat. There was the quality of signings that they're making, the spending power that they have, which is great to have, but they're spending it very, very wisely on experienced heads who know the level. A lot of them have got promotions on the CV already. So no, it's a credit to them. They've got a lot of money to spend, and they're ambitious and they're trying to go for it.
Josh Keeley. Starting at left back tonight is Jaden Sweeney, and following that injury to Tom James, Ethan Galbraith drops back into right back. In the centre of defence, it's Dan Happy alongside Jack Simpson. Jordan Brown's in the midfield alongside Darren Pratley, and ahead of them two in that attacking 3 in the midfield is Randall Williams on the left, Sonny Perkins on the right, and Jamie Donnelly pulling the strings in the middle with Charlie Kelman leading the line. And on the bench is Noah Phillips, Dan Adji, Don Ball, Jaleng Jayasimi, Dylan Markanday, Romari Edmonds-Green, and Azim Abdullahi. So, no surprise really that Richie's tinkering with it, making changes, keeping things fresh. We've had Saturday, Tuesday, and we've got Saturday, Tuesday coming up. It's intense games as well. So it's no surprise he's keeping things fresh here.
Yeah, it's what he likes to do, isn't it? You know, he likes to shuffle his pack. He likes to keep everyone kind of, involved and feeling like they're part of it, sharing the load and the minutes around. And, he's got the options to do it now. I think, for a long time we were saying that, the team sort of picked itself because of the numbers available. We had long-term injuries and he only had a certain kind of group of players to choose from. But now he's got the luxury of options. And I think, even like giving Jack Curry a rest tonight, who's played so much football, and bringing in Sweens and giving him a chance to kind of show what he can do again. It's a good move by Richie. I just think, he's. I think he really does know well how to manage a group of players and keep everyone involved, keep everyone at it. You know what I mean? No one feels like they're excluded, and everyone's got a part to play.
And he is, of course, juggling injuries as well. Of course, Dan Happy and Jack Simpson looked really good when partnered together against Man City. Ethan Galbraith can do a job wherever he is, but it is, whilst he is kind of rotating for energy's sake, we are kind of having to adapt and deal with different injuries and scenarios here, aren't we?
Yeah, but I think Joe's absolutely right. You look at our subs bench as well, and it's also stacked full of quality players as well. Dan Adji on there, Ball, Reg, Markanday, Abdullahi. The luxury of being able to not have to start those players now looks really positive for us. And on the flip side of it, I mean, it's basically two managers sticking to kind of what they want to do and how they see the game going, because as we'll come on to, but Phil Parkinson's not changed his team at all since Saturday, and we've made 4 changes, a couple of them certainly enforced in some respects, but Wrexham haven't changed their team at all. They're in good form, we're in good form, they haven't changed their team, we have changed our team, and our squad depth's probably at this stage of the season quite reasonably similar. So there's also no cause for concern in terms of across the pitch. It's very, very good.
Also, just on that, don't know if I'm right in thinking, but when we played Wrexham at home, we changed our shape to match them. So we went with 3 at the back with wing backs that game, which is something obviously we haven't done very often this season. But I just think the fact that we're going with the same shape and we're playing similar sort of team to what we have been over the last few weeks, it shows that we don't need to adjust to kind of match up with Wrexham. We're in good form. We know the way we want to play and how we want to set up, so we're going to stick with it.
It's really interesting because actually in that home game, both teams just completely cancelled each other out. Yeah. It was up there probably in the top 3 worst games of the season. I know they're not exactly comparative, but like the Stevenage 0-0 game away when the conditions were atrocious was a poor game of football, but the Wrexham game was just a game of football where just both teams completely cancelled each other out, probably because the systems were so similar. And so what this says to me is that we're going for it this evening, and we should be, because of the run that we've been going through of late, and we're not going to these big teams and being cowed by the fact that Wrexham are a bigger so-called bigger club or have been in good form at home. So hopefully we'll be able to play our game against theirs and give them something to think about.
And I mean, casting our mind back again to their game versus ours, they're a very direct side, aren't they, Wrexham, compared to us, who, as you've seen in recent weeks, like to get it down and play silky football. I'm not saying Wrexham don't do that at times, but do you think with some of the choices in defence, especially Dan Happy and Jack Simpson, they're probably the most experienced and biggest defenders we could have gone with tonight? Jaden Sweeney really strong aerially. Yeah. Do you think that's played a factor into how Richie expects to have to play a defensive game tonight? Yeah,
I think so. I think, if we look at Richie, I think he always sort of takes the opposition's strengths into account, when he sets his team up. And, look, we know Wrexham they've got that firepower at the top end of the pitch. They will be direct. They will play a lot of long balls. And in Jack Simpson and Dan Happy, you've got 2 really big, tall, imposing centre backs who will go and head the ball, will compete, will challenge aerially. Wrexham very strong at set pieces, so again, that added height back there will hopefully play a big part in us helping to keep them out.
The inclusion of Dan Prattley always gives a slight indication to the kind of game that Richie's expecting or maybe approaching.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him almost at some stages drop in a little bit deeper as well to give that aerial presence as well. You only need to look at Wrexham, one of Wrexham's goals against Northampton on Saturday. It was a a long kick downfield by their goalkeeper Mark Howard. Like just no challenge. I mean, the ball just sailed over the defence, and Sam Smith was quick enough to run onto it and score. It was as route one as you can possibly get, and Howard got the assist for it. So I think there will be an element of really having to be right on your game. Darren Prattley might drop a little bit deeper, and Jordan Brown perhaps also. So, but Happy and Simpson are kind of right there for it, and probably up for the fight.
Whilst we're talking about kind of the defensive work we'll need to do, we've got some clips of Jack Simpson here and some of his defensive work, and he's someone that's been in and out of the starting lineup this season, but he's a player who's played Championship, Premier League. He was phenomenal against Man City. He's someone that will need to be strong, not just in the air, but all over tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been really excellent of late, getting around a bit, not afraid to put himself in there, and actually has taken a couple of injuries as well for it, for his troubles. But you're right, he was excellent against Man City. I thought he was very good on Saturday. I think that clip there is my pick of the lot, because it's a very dangerous ball in, and he was there to clear the danger. But yeah, he has to kind of be as good as he has been in the last few weeks. We're without Omar Beckles, who's been one of our best players this season, certainly one of our most influential. And whilst we conceded 2 goals on Saturday, we weren't poor defensively at all. It was just slightly tired and sloppy errors that led to them. So he's got to be as good as Omar's been, and so does Dan.
Let's move into the goal department now then, Joe. Let's start with Charlie Kelman, the man of the moment on Saturday. He just looks like he's full of confidence. Everything he's hitting's going in, and he's leading the line of a really exciting attack tonight.
Yeah, he is, and it's nice to see, because there's been times this season where we've come in here and we've spoken. We said he's working so hard, and he puts in such a shift, and he presses from the front, and he offers and he brings so much to the team, whether he scores or not. But it's just nice to see the goals going in for him, because as a centre forward, that's what they live on, that's what they thrive on, that's their key role. So I think for him it's great, because he'll feel he's having a big impact. Do you know what I mean, on games, and that, like the goal on the weekend, obviously deciding it'll be a great moment for him. And as you said, his confidence will be sky high, and hopefully continue this scoring run going.
Whilst we're talking about goals and confidence, Andrew, I know you share a barber with a certain Sonny Perkins. I wasn't sure if you've seen him this week. If
I give him a shout out, they might give me a freebie. But
what's he called?
I'm not going to do it.
Fair enough. But
I don't want the fans to go flocking there.
We're trying to get the new Sonny Perkins trick. But joking aside, he is a man that will be full of confidence after those 2 goals on Saturday. And it's no surprise that he's kept his space tonight, is it?
Yeah, and really, really well taken goals as well. I think we all know that he had a bit of a slow start to the season here. Struggled to kind of just get settled in, I suppose, into the team. But incredibly well taken goals on Saturday, and just has that knack of just being in the right place. And Galbraith obviously sets him up brilliantly for one. Kelman brings out space for another, and on paper they look like straightforward finishes, but they're anything but, really. So he's really come into his own. 6 goals and 6 assists for a player who hasn't played every minute, and far from every minute actually this season. But he's really come good of late.
And let's just give a quick nod to the bench as well before we move on, though, because whilst we're talking about rotation, that obviously means that we've got such a strong bench. We saw it help us on Saturday with that energy, and it's needed in runs like this, isn't it? But Dan Adji, Jayasimi, Markanday, Abdullah, it's really exciting attacking options on the bench. And then you've got the likes of Reg and Don Ball. It looks like a really kind of good squad at the moment. Touchwood, injuries like a kind.
Yeah, it does. Really good attacking options. I said on the weekend, I think January was a really good month of recruitment. We brought in the exact sort of additions that we needed in the right areas of the pitch, and now it brings that competition for places. So those guys out there tonight, Randall Williams, Jamie Donnelly, Sonny Perkins, they know that they're going to need to be at it, because if not, then there's other guys waiting on the bench. Dan Adji, I imagine he's chomping at the bit to get some minutes and get back to the sort of form he was showing earlier in the season. Same with Azim Abdullah. He's come in and really made an impact. So it's good to see like these guys are all scoring goals, assisting, full of confidence. So and they all want to be playing, and it's a great problem for Richie to have.
It certainly is. Right then, just under 15 minutes to go until kick-off, and of course don't forget tonight's match is being streamed on Sky Sports Plus for UK fans, but if you're watching our YouTube stream live from international territory, then you can watch live with us here on Orient Live with a match pass for only £10. And UK fans, if you're also watching on, then you can pick up an audio pass as well from the Match Centre. And of course, don't forget, after today, whilst we've had a fair few home games of late, tonight marks this run of 3 very tough away games. On Saturday, we're away to Bolton, and then of course the next Tuesday away to Birmingham City, and all of those fixtures will be available to stream here on Orient Live for international fans. The details on that one there. But then, of course, it's Saturday the 1st of March when we are back here at the Gotham Group Stadium for that 3 p.m. kickoff against Charlton Athletic. I wonder how the league table will be looking then. But right then, before we crack on and take a look at the home side for this evening's fixture, let's hear from the man who was on the tip of our tongues earlier. It's Jack Simpson.
Obviously, big game. Just come back into the day. Lads are obviously all delighted with the result on Saturday. The focus now is all on that, and we're looking forward to it. Be a good test for us. Team right up there, and been on great forms. Very tough to play anyway, but at home they seem particularly tough. So yeah, I think it would be a tough game, but enjoyable one. You're not going to win every game by comfortably 2-3-0, and I think recently on the run we've done that a lot, especially at home. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to score 2 goals and then concede 2, especially at home like that. But I think you have to do that if you want to have a successful season. So I think that was credit to the lads, the fans stuck with us, and I think you have to do that at points, and that was big for us, and we kept doing the right things. We watched it back today and kept doing the right things. We were positive, and I think in the last 10 minutes we got a just reward really for the way we reacted after the second goal. I think you just have to look at the squad. I think we all knew that anyway. You look at the way we've come together in the last 3-4 months and the way that everyone talks about us, especially within the group, the lads. I think we knew as a group we can do that, but obviously I think it's big for everyone to see that. I don't think probably the last time that happened was Oldham, where we came back like that. So I think we knew that deep down. We haven't had to do that. We've been lucky where we've been able to get 1 or 2 up and then see games out. But yeah, I think it's a big thing to do, and I think it was a big game obviously with what happened last year with the home game. I think it was nice that we were able to do that, and I think you've got a great mix of lads, age, backgrounds. It's just like you guys see it, it's a big laugh a lot of the time. Everyone comes in here with like smiling. We do get into each other quite a bit, but we're able on the same time to turn that, and when we need to be serious, when things need to be done properly. But a lot of the time the change room just manages itself, and you don't really need to call players out. I guess that's a credit to the management and everyone else who brings players in. They've brought in great personalities, especially all the new lads that have come in since January, just fitted in seamlessly. And we've got great leaders in the group. So yeah, I think like you guys see it, we all enjoy being around each other's company, which is a big thing. Don't know if you guys know, but on the City game, me and Haps had a conversation. Gaffer said it's between us, and just came down to really, I think both of us were happy to have it. It didn't matter, and we ended up just saying, you take it, buddy. So obviously when I walked in, I didn't know when I walked into the change room Saturday and saw the armband, obviously it's a big honour to do that, especially how much the club have given back to me, and took a chance on me. So just wanted to pay that really with a win, 3 points, and just trying to be the best leader I could be. But yeah, it was really nice. It's massive, these are the games you want to be playing, and you want to be put up towards the top of the league, playing teams around you. These games matter towards the end of the season, and where you're going to finish. So yeah, it's exciting, and the place is just exciting to be around. So we're excited, we're looking forward to the challenge, and it's going to be tough, but you have to go through these periods if you want to be successful.
Another gigantic performance would be fantastic from Jack Simpson tonight, because it's high-flying Wrexham who are standing in between Leyton Orient and continuing a fine run of form. And let's take a look and see how the home side are lining up. Obviously, a very well-funded unit by a certain Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. But starting in goal for Wrexham is Mark Howard. Into the defence is Lewis Brunt, Max Cleworth, Owen O'Connell. The captain for them is James McLean with George Dobson, Jay Rodriguez, Ollie Rathbone, Ryan Barnett and Matty James alongside him. And then leading the line, signing from Reading with 12 goals for the Royals this season is Sam Smith. And on the bench is Arthur Nkonkwo, Andy Cannon, Jack Marriott, Seb Reuben, Dan Scarr, Steve Fletcher and Ryan Longman. So, what do we say about this Wrexham side, Andrew?
I mean, obviously they're very, very good. The way that the club's been run has been incredibly well documented, so we probably don't need to go over too much old ground. But stuff that sticks out for me with the Wrexham team and their recruitment is relying on experience. It's similar to Derby last season, where their average age was over 30 years old. Wrexham has got the second oldest squad in League One. Their average age is 29, but you can see across the pitch where those places are and where those players are in terms of that experience. So in midfield, Matty James, who's played a lot of Premier League games for Leicester, James McLean, and then recently Jay Rodriguez, who was playing in the Premier League just last season, is an incredible signing for this level. Okay, Rodriguez hasn't been scoring many goals in the last couple of seasons, but he still is a very, very decent striker. And then they've added to that Sam Smith as well of late, who scored his first goal for them on Saturday against Northampton. Well taken goal over the top. And they play a very kind of rigid style of football. 5 at the back, 3 in midfield, 2 up top. Like we said earlier, they go long. They're happy for the opposition to have the ball, which I expect to see us with the ball quite a lot. And they've been successful. You can't really knock their success because of the style of play, but that is kind of the way that Phil Parkinson sets them up and has done for a couple of years now. Andrew's
right. The starting 11's average age tonight is 29.8 years. That they're considerably more experienced than us. And as Andrew's touched on as well, that you like James McLean and Jay Rodriguez. There's a lot of Premier League experience in it. Darren Pratley probably surpasses it all anyway, but they are a really experienced and dangerous side, and they're at the top of the league, and they're there for a reason, obviously.
Yeah, I think
not the very top, obviously.
No, but they're up there, and I think Andrew kind of summarised what they're about perfectly. Really, they aim to recruit players who have played at a higher level. Good experience. They want to attract people with Championship, even Premier League experience, and sell them the project and the journey they're on. So I think it's we kind of know what to expect from them. Really, they'll be direct. They won't do anything special, in terms of how they set up or anything tactically. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing kind of extraordinary about Wrexham. They're just very kind of functional and direct with just good players. If you put a good group of players together on a football pitch, they're gonna kind of make things happen and have moments. I think they are a team that really they're a moments team. I don't see them kind of dominate games really. They've got a lot of firepower. They've got players who know how to score goals, and they've got a good team.
And how does a team like Orient, considerably lower budget, but Richie's so insistent on kind of the principles and the way that we play football, on a night like tonight, how do you approach that game and go at a team like Wrexham?
I think with belief, with belief in what we're about. How. I believe that Orient are a far better coached team, play better football, with more of a kind of plan in a lot of respects than Wrexham. I think we're easier on the eye, and I think Richie has the players have bought into Richie's philosophy and how he sees the game and how we can be successful. I think you only have to look at results and performances over the past few months to see that this style of play works, and it's good enough to take on the likes of Wrexham. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you need to do anything different. You don't need to go away from, the way we've been playing and what we've been trying to do. I think the way Richie sees football is he'll always want his teams to try and set up to dominate the ball and play a certain brand of football. Not because he thinks that it looks good, but because he thinks that it works and it's what he believes in. And I think, the players, we heard Jack Simpson there talking, they clearly enjoy, they like the way they play football, they like what they're being asked to do, and they're seeing results from it. So I feel like, you know, they're all kind of pulling in the same direction. I think the confidence is good, the belief is high, so, you know, hopefully it can lead to a good performance tonight.
And whilst, you know, the fanfare and the media from people from outside looking in may all be swinging towards Wrexham, if you're Phil Parkinson and Wrexham and you're looking at the form teams and you're looking at some of the players we have, you'd imagine they'd not be seeing this as kind of such a one-sided affair.
No, not at all. And you'd be incredibly naive to think that, or a fan who's only just kind of got into football to kind of acknowledge that this game will be far tighter than some fans think that it might be. So obviously they've been in very good form. They've got through to the trophy semi-final as well, so they're on an up, and as a club they're on an upward trajectory. But as a we, I mean, it's so funny. I mean, Joe, in very, very recent memory, played against Wrexham, but in the National League, and now both teams are fighting it out right at the top end of League One. It's been an amazing journey, and okay, they might get the press, they might get the column inches of having a great journey, but we've had genuinely as equally a good one as them.
Well, I remember going away there back in 2017 when we won with James Brophy's goal, and I'll tell you, the stand we're seeing now on our preview screens was considerably more empty than it was than it is tonight. I wonder why that is, but hey, it's all about the football tonight, so let's hand over to our commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Welcome to Wrexham. It should be quite a night. Leyton Orient making 4 changes. Wrexham, like the O's, were also victorious at the weekend, winning at Northampton, and Matt Hiscock, they're unchanged.
Yeah, no surprise to see the hosts unchanged after another gruelling victory where they defend doggedly. For the O's, just get a sense this is a big night, Dave, in the calendar. I got that feeling approaching the stadium, packed out as you'd expect, massive crowd here, but the pressure undoubtedly is all on the home side.
It is 4 years since the Hollywood takeover here. It is a similar journey that Leyton Orient achieved from the National League, and now on the verge of pushing for a place in the Championship. 43 years ago, Matt, these sides were relegated from the old second division together.
Yeah, and that's the target now, isn't it, to get back to that second tier of English football. Both of them stand a good chance to do so. You mentioned the home side. Well, they've accelerated a little bit quicker in terms of their takeover and the comparisons, but they've spent a lot more money in doing so. But they're up there, and Phil Parkinson, he's a man who knows how to get promotion.
He certainly does. Since losing to Huddersfield back in November, the O's have played 14 in the league, winning 11, drawing 2, going from the bottom 4 to the top 6. They've only taken 4 points from the 5 clubs currently above them. They need to change that in the next league game.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think a lot of people have spoken. We will find out where this Orient team are going to go in the next 3 weeks. Back-to-back games, the Tuesday, Saturday, but as you say, it's the teams up the top. Wrexham tonight, Bolton away on Saturday, and then a trip to Birmingham. Rotherham not too far away as well. And say these are the nights, the big nights, which can define your season.
It is Leyton Orient and the change strip of all light blue to get this game off and underway. Wrexham with the red shirts, with the white shorts and white socks. The referee in all black tonight is Darren Drysdale. He checks with his 2 assistants. And at the moment, it's the O's that are going to get the game off and underway with Jamie Donnelly, one of those changes to get his first touch of the evening. And Leyton Orient in the first half attacking the goal to our right, where we sit in the main stand. I assume that's probably to the left of those in the watching on TV, and it means that in the first half, Leyton Orient will be defending the end, where the temporary stand has been erected. This is the last here, and it's quite a noise here at the racecourse ground as the ball is offered out towards the right-hand side and immediately goes away for a throw to the home team. So how do we line up, Matt?
As you say, 4 changes for the O's tonight. Late line up with Josh Keeley